Hello and welcome to this instructional video on how to use Microsoft Word to compare the model constitution for congregations of the ELCA to a church's constitution. The first thing I want to do is open up Microsoft Word. And once that's open, open a blank document. And from here, go to this top tab menu here and click Review. Once you've clicked Review, you can go to the right here to Compare. And click that to get this drop-down menu. Be sure to click Compare and not Combine here, but now click Compare. And now we need to get things ready. You'll probably see a screen just like this. And the first thing I want to do is upload the original document. Now, it's very important to note that every document that you upload should be a Word document. If one of them is a PDF, this won't work as accurately. In fact, it'll be somewhat difficult to use. So try to be sure that both documents are Word documents. So once you want to find your original document, hit this folder here. And I have this folder with these two documents in there. And the first original document will be the Model Constitution for Congregations. That's what I like to use because we're comparing the church's constitution to this Model Constitution. So upload by hitting Open the Model Constitution for Congregations. And then in this revised document, hit the folder again and select the constitution that you want to review. In this case, it's the Constitution from my church, Faith Lutheran, from 2015. And we'll click Open. And here label changes with. Lori is our church secretary. That's why that shows up there. But what I like to do is change it to the church's name. And then you'll click this More down here for more options. Now, some of these may be selected with the blue check mark. Be sure to deselect that, but leaving footnotes and endnotes because footnotes and endnotes are in the Constitution. The reason we do this is because though formatting is important for the purposes of comparing the documents right now, it's more for substance than format. And that's why we deselect all those to make it easier for ourselves. And then under show changes, make sure that you have show changes at the word level and show changes in the original document. Once you have all that done, select OK. And then this should pop up. And this might seem like a overwhelming, confusing screen with lots of documents on there, but I found a way that works for me to make this a little easier to use. So the first thing is I don't really like this revisions panel down here, though it will show you every revision that's made one by one, Faith Lutheran Church inserted, Faith Lutheran Church deleted, etc. But I don't find that all that helpful. So if you click Reviewing Pane up here in the tracking part, that gets rid of that. And then over in Compare over here, click the drop-down menu again, hover over the Show Source Documents and hit Hide Source Documents. And then you're left with this. And here, what you'll do is if these lines are red on the side, you want to show the tracked changes by clicking on a red line. And we're left with this. And so now you might see something highlighted blue, or I've seen it highlighted in other colors when I've done this before. And when blue lines cross through things, or you see a word highlighted blue with a line through it, that means it is not included in the church's constitution. If you see a word like constitution here that is neither blue nor crossed out, that means it's in both constitutions, both the model and the church's. And then if you see a word highlighted in blue underlined, it means it's in the church's constitution, but not in the model constitution. So here, for example, the church kept Evangelical Lutheran Church, added Faith to it because that's their technical name, Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church, and got rid of In America. So if we scroll down here, we can see another example. This church does not use the introduction for model constitutions or from the model constitution. So that is highlighted blue and deleted. And then down here in C101, you can see where they've added something. They've added Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church rather than the blank line from the model constitution. So continue to go through this document. You'll find things maybe that they don't have in their constitution that should be there. For example, C302, C304, and C305 here are required provisions of the 2019 Model Constitution. The Constitution we're reviewing right now was drafted before 2019. And so those provisions probably didn't exist. But if they were to update their constitution, they would need to be sure to include those provisions. Otherwise, you can keep scrolling, find things where they've added, things where they've removed, and generally you just want to make sure that they have not changed the required provisions and that the non-required provisions and provisions they've added do not conflict with the required provisions. Same with the bylaws. A good example of seeing where they've really added a lot of things is in this Constitution. Way down at the bottom here, they have a bylaws section separate from the main body of the Constitution. And you can see what it looks like when something's been added. So I hope you find this process helpful in reviewing constitutions rather than keeping two documents side by side, checking word for word. And good luck in your Constitution reviewing.